a family that needed our help last year. We spent quite a bit of time helping them. Gary Carr had suffered a stroke, and our job was to try and fix his house up so that he could get back into his home. He had been basically living out of his home for about almost 2 years, I believe it was, wasn't it, at that point? And tonight we're just thrilled. After just a year being back in his home, even less than a year, I guess, at this point, once we were able to fix the home up to make it accessible for him, he's been back in his home, and he's here with us tonight, and his wife, Patrice, and she'd like to say a few words about what's happened.
Well, we are very, very happy to be here tonight, and I see a lot of people that I met last year, and we're just so grateful to the Lord for the work that you do. My family is here, my daughter Victoria, my son Zachary, my son Wes, our son, our children are here.
Good.
And we're just really happy to be here. Over 3 years ago, my husband Gary had a second stroke which completely debilitated him. And he was totally disabled and almost completely paralyzed. Gary couldn't do anything for himself. He couldn't talk. His body was riddled with spasms, and he was in a great deal of pain. We're here today because of literally hundreds of people praying, and God answering those prayers in many different ways. After being in nursing homes for over 2 years, a very good friend of ours approached me one day and said that God was leading him to help bring Gary home. I'd always wanted to bring Gary home, but our house was not set up to accommodate him in any way, and I didn't have the money to do it. So this was an answer to prayer. The only thing was that after looking at his finances, he was mainly interested in providing the nursing care that Gary needed. And the renovations to the house were going to be too costly for him. So Gary has a very good friend that he met when he worked at WRBS. And Tim Brennan visited Gary on a regular basis while he was in the nursing homes. One day Tim called me to find out how Gary was doing, because Gary can't talk. So I was telling him, and I mentioned that we wanted to bring Gary home, but needed some extensive renovations done to my house in order for it to work out. Well, Tim got very excited and said that he was part of a work camp, and that's exactly what they do. He said, finally, there's something I can do for Gary. We hung up, and Tim took it from there. He contacted Ray Lichty, and they came to see the house that same week. They were very enthusiastic about doing the project, and the plans were put together. Boy, did they do a great job. This was a very big project. The work camp put up a ramp to our front door. They extended the foyer to accommodate the wheelchair coming into the house. Ray's sister donated 2 sets of stair glides so Gary can go up and down the stairs. And the workers put in a bedroom and a bathroom in the lower level, which is just beautiful. The bathroom is just gorgeous. They did such a good job. I was very amazed. Everyone who comes to see it is just amazed at the work that was done. And they were happy to be there, and they were happy to be helping our family out. Well, I really want to just thank you over and over again, because I had no idea what bringing Gary home would mean. I also want you to know just how significant your work for the Lord is. After 4 short months of being home, Gary became much more alert. He began using his communication board more effectively, which he has right here. And he began moving around a lot more. So I looked into getting him some therapy at Johns Hopkins Hospital. And they took him on and worked with him twice a week from just March to June of this year. And now he can do all of his ADLs, and he can bathe and dress himself, feed himself, move around in his wheelchair as much as he wants to, much more than we want him to. In fact, the work camp had donated a scooter, an electric wheelchair, which I had to return to you because the therapists want him to use his own arms and legs. He's even working very hard to walk with a walker. And he walks up and down the stairs every day. He's doing great, and this never would have happened if he had stayed in a nursing home. I give all thanks and praise to God, and thanks to the work camp for your hard work and your generosity. Gary wanted to say some words, and he typed it out on his board, and I'll read them. He says, I wanted to thank the construction group who volunteered their time and energy to help renovate my basement. I'm truly blessed and grateful for your kindness. It showed what God's grace can do for a family in need. I especially want to thank my Irish soul brother, Tim Brennan, who put it all together. Gracias, mi hermano.
Oh, there you go.
Love to you from Gary.
All right.
Thank you.